Hello everyone, welcome back to Krishna's lectures. We shall now study exercise number 2 of 12th Bio Practicals. Here in this experiment, we are going to study pollen grains, the structure and everything of it in detail, and then we are going to study the germination part of pollen grains. Okay. When we say pollen grains, what we have to understand is that how human males have sperms. In the same way, the plants have these pollen grains. Okay, this is what we have to understand about pollen grains. This is the first point. Second point, in general, what happens, the principle of the experiment is this, that pollen grains are going to be deposited by different means on the stigma, that is, it is a part of carpel. Carpel has ovary, style and stigma. The stigma is the platform on which the pollen grains are going to get deposited, and once the pollen grain gets deposited on the stigma, that is when there is going to be pollen tube formation, and that is how the pollen grains reach the ovary. But here what we are trying to do in this experiment is we are going to prepare a synthetic solution or synthetic medium, and we are trying to replicate the same thing what happens there here in the lab. So a question could be asked on the synthetic medium for pollen germination, which is when this has to be remembered. 10% sucrose solution, or how is 10% sucrose solution prepared? We have 10 gram of sucrose, 30 mg of calcium nitrate, 10 milligram of boric acid. All of these are mixed and then they are dissolved in 10 ml 100 ml of water, 100 ml of water. So this is how you are going to prepare the synthetic medium required for replicating pollen germination. I would say this is a potential question, that is, what is the synthetic medium? 10% sucrose solution, or how is it prepared? 10 grams of sucrose, 10 mg of calcium nitrate, 10 mg of boric acid dissolved in 100 ml of distilled water. This is supposed to be remembered and marked. Now, what is pollen grain? Pollen grain, when we say, if this is a pollen grain, this has two layers. Okay, one is called as exine and the second one is called the intine. The exine is the outer layer, so I am going to call this exine. I have drawn it in red because exine is usually the one which is made up of sporopollenin, which is the most resistant organic substance ever known. Okay, so that is the reason why the pollen grains can be stored for a very long time. This second layer is called as intine. So the sporopollenin is absent at few places, and these places are all called as germ pores. And when we have the pollen grains being dusted into here on the synthetic medium, the intine is going to come through these germ pores and they are going to form pollen tubes. So this is the whole principle of the experiment. I am going to explain the principle of it again. This is the schematic representation of a pollen grain. It has two layers. The inside one is called as the intine and the external one is called as exine. It has sporopollenin, the most resistant organic substance ever known, and then this exine has sporopollenin, so it cannot be degraded. That's why it can be stored for a very long time. But what is going to happen is, through these germ pores, these are the places where the sporopollenin is absent. So the intine can actually form pollen tubes and come out through the exine. That is, intine is going to come out of exine through these germ pores. So this is what going to happen usually when it lands on the stigma, but here we are going to use the synthetic solution to replicate the same. It is 10 grams of sucrose, 30 mg of calcium nitrate, 30 mg of boric acid dissolved in 100 ml of distilled water, or simply I can say 10% of sucrose solution. Here in this experiment what we are trying to do is, suppose this is a slide, we are going to take the synthetic medium and we are going to put a drop of it here, and then to this synthetic medium we are going to like sprinkle few pollen grains, and then we are going to watch it under the microscope. Fine, after 10 minutes we are going to do, obviously, because germination needs some time. And then when we watch, we are going to take at least 5 different fields. We are going to watch it in 5 different fields to see how many pollen grains have germinated. Okay, so the same thing, if I have to be explaining it in terms of mathematical formula, it is like this: n is the number of fields, number of microscopic fields. Here n refers to in each field how many pollen grains got germinated. So this is what is small n and big N. Here U, V, X, Y, Z refer to the percentage of pollen grains obtained in different fields. So in each field we are going to do the same. Suppose this is field number 1. In field number 1, N1 into 100 divided by N1, we got X. And the same thing, we went to the second field, small n2 into 100 divided by big N2, we got Y%. Okay, the same thing again, if we take another field, we got Z% when we went to the different microscopic field, that is N3, small n3 and big into 100 divided by big N3. This goes on, we can do it up to 5 different fields, and then whatever the percentage we get for each, suppose we get X, U, V, X, Y and Z. So each actually indicate the percentage obtained in each different microscopic field. That average if we take, we are going to get a percentage. So this is how we calculate the percent pollen grain germination. Okay, I am going to repeat this again. We are going to do the same thing 5 times and take the average. So every time we do, we are going to count the number of pollen grains germinated divided by total number of pollen grains into 100, which is going to give us percentage, and we are going to take 5 we are going to get 5 different percentages because we are doing it 5 times at 5 different fields, and then we are going to take the average to get this number, that is, let's say a%. I'm sorry, here I said number of microscopic field. It is not number of microscopic field, it is the total number of pollen grains. It is number of pollen grains. So we are going to do this experiment. This is a very small experiment and very easy to do, and most of the questions would be asked on the pollen grains, and that's all we have got to study about this experiment. And I'm just going to summarize everything again here. So the principle of the experiment gets very important. Intine is going to come out of the pollen grain by forming pollen tube through germ pores. Germ pore is the place where sporopollenin is absent, and we are not doing it on the stigma, we are doing it here in the lab on an artificial medium. 10 grams of sucrose, 30 mg of calcium nitrate, 10 mg of boric acid and are dissolved in 100 ml of distilled water, or we can simply call it as 10% sucrose solution. Okay, so this is a very small experiment, and this mathematical formula is something that has to be remembered. N divided by capital N into 100 is going to give us the percentage. So let's say a%, like that we are going to get 5 different percentages because we are doing it 5 times. Small n refer to the number of pollen grains germinated, capital N refers to the number of pollen grains into 100 for getting the percentage value. Okay, so this is all we have got to read in this experiment. Thank you.